Have you ever stopped to think about what an incredible machine your body really is? Well, today we're going to go on a journey, not across the globe, but deep inside that machine. We're going to pull back the curtain on the amazing systems that work nonstop every single second just to keep you alive.
I mean, think about it. Breathing. You do it thousands of times a day, right? And you probably never give it a second thought. But that one simple act, it kicks off this whole cascade of incredible events inside you. So let's start right there with just a single breath.
So our journey starts right here. When you inhale, it's not just your lungs doing the work, not at all. There's this huge muscle called the diaphragm that contracts and moves down, while your ribs lift up and out. This whole motion creates a vacuum, pulling that life-giving air and its precious oxygen into your lungs. And when you exhale, the entire process just reverses, pushing out the waste gas. It's like a perfect, rhythmic dance.
Okay, so the oxygen's in. We're done, right? Ha ha ha! Not even close. Getting it to the front door is one thing. Now, we got to get it to every single room in the house. And that's where our body's amazing logistics network comes into play.
Welcome to the circulatory system. You can think of this as the body's own personal superhighway. It's this massive transport network that's responsible for delivering oxygen and all the other good stuff to every corner of your body, and then hauling away the trash.
And you know, every great highway system needs a command center, right? A central engine that powers the whole thing. For us, that's this powerhouse right here, the heart. It's an incredibly strong muscle, only about the size of your fist, but it works tirelessly, pumping blood all around your body every single second of your life.
And this is where it gets really clever. The heart uses this amazing double-loop system. Let's follow the journey. First, the heart pumps blood over to the lungs. That's stop number one. There, the blood picks up all that fresh oxygen. Then that oxygen-rich blood comes back to the heart, which gives it a second, really powerful push out to the rest of the body. After it drops off the oxygen, the now oxygen-poor blood returns to the heart, and the whole cycle starts over. It's just incredibly efficient.
So if the heart is the engine, then these are the roads. Your blood vessels are this ridiculously complex network of tubes that reach every single part of your body. You've got arteries, veins, and these tiny little capillaries, all working together to form this internal superhighway.
So just how big is this network? Well, if you could take all the blood vessels from just one adult and stretch them out in a single line, they would stretch for about 100,000 kilometers. Just let that number sink in for a second.
To put that into perspective for you, that's enough to wrap around the entire planet Earth, more than 2 times. It's honestly mind-boggling, and it just shows you the incredible scale of this internal world we're exploring.
All right, time for a quick pop quiz. We've all seen those diagrams in science class, you know? The ones where the veins are colored blue. But is the blood inside them actually blue? What do you think, true or false?
Yeah, that's a big false. It's one of the most common myths out there. All of your blood is red. The blood rich in oxygen is a bright, vibrant red, and the blood that's low on oxygen is a much darker red. The only reason your veins look blue is because of the way light plays tricks with our eyes as it passes through our skin.
You know, it's pretty amazing to think that for most of human history, we had basically no idea how any of this worked. Our modern understanding really stands on the shoulders of giants. Let's look at 2 key figures here. On the left, we have Galen, an ancient Greek doctor. And on the right, William Harvey, a physician from the 17th century. Their ideas show a huge leap in how we think about the body.
So for more than 1,400 years, everyone just accepted Galen's theory. He thought there were 2 totally separate blood systems. One carried air from the lungs, and the other carried nutrients from the liver. It wasn't until William Harvey came along and, through some really careful experiments, proved that it's actually one single continuous loop of blood circulated by the constant pumping of the heart. It just goes to show you, science is always a work in progress.
Okay, so we've got the oxygen, we've got the highway, and we've got the engine. But what's the whole point? What's the ultimate purpose of this incredible journey? It all comes down to this, the Great Exchange.
Let's zoom in on the different types of roads on our superhighway. Arteries. Those carry the oxygen-rich blood away from the heart. Veins, they're the ones that bring the oxygen-poor blood back to the heart. And then, in between, you have the capillaries. These things are microscopic. They're so tiny. But this is where the real magic happens. This is the spot where oxygen and nutrients are delivered to your cells, and all the waste products are picked up for removal.
And this system is unbelievably adaptable. Just check out this comparison. A gigantic blue whale's heart beats only about 10 times a minute.
An average human, around 70. But a tiny little hummingbird with its crazy high metabolism, its heart is racing at 1,260 beats per minute. It really shows how this fundamental system is perfectly tailored to the energy needs of every single animal.
But, like any complex system, our internal highway is vulnerable. It's under constant threat from tiny, unseen invaders that can cause total chaos if they manage to get inside.
We call these invaders microbes, and they are everywhere on Earth. In the air we breathe, on our skin, in our food. Now, a lot of them are totally harmless, but some can make us sick. The main culprits come in a few different flavors. You've got bacteria, these little single-celled organisms, viruses, which actually hijack our own cells to reproduce, fungi, and parasites.
And just to give you an idea of the sheer numbers we're talking about, get this. We think 7.5 billion people on Earth is a lot, right? Well, a single handful of soil can have up to 50 billion bacteria in it. They are by far the most numerous life forms on our planet.
But don't worry, this story doesn't end with us being overrun. Our bodies are not helpless, not by a long shot. We have a sophisticated and incredibly powerful defense force dedicated to protecting this amazing internal system.
The first rule of defense is to understand how you're being attacked. And for microbes, that process is called transmission. It's how they spread. This can happen through the air when someone sneezes, through direct touch, or even in contaminated food and water.
Our bodies have some really cool built-in defenses. A sneeze, for example, is actually a brilliant defense mechanism. When microbes get in your nose, mucus traps them, and then the explosive force of a sneeze just blasts them out. But here's the wild part. That one sneeze can launch 100,000 microbes over 3 meters, which, is exactly why covering your mouth is so important.
So what's the single most effective thing we can do to help our body's defenses? It's something your parents probably told you a million times. Wash your hands properly. It's so simple. Wet your hands, apply soap, and then you've got to rub them for at least 20 seconds. That's about the time it takes to sing Happy Birthday twice. Then just rinse and dry. This one simple habit is one of the most powerful tools we have to protect that entire universe inside of us.
So, from a single breath to a 100,000-kilometer highway to a microscopic battle against invaders, we've seen that the world inside you is an absolute marvel. It's a self-regulating, self-defending universe that works tirelessly for you. The only question left is, knowing all this, isn't it worth protecting?